Another material which is easy to recreate in Photoshop is concrete. I'm going to zoom in right here into this little area right there, and there you can see some concrete. That's what we're going to recreate right now. It's concrete. And we'll see how incredibly easy it is to do. So I'm going to go in here, and I have this file, and I'm going to select a area right here, and in a layer, always in a layer, I'm going to fill that with a 50% gray. Just go in there and get a nice neutral density of 50% gray. And there it is. Now to this, I'm going to apply a filter. And the filter I'm going to apply is under texture called Craquelure. Now this is a good texture to go in there and start playing around. Like let's say these were browns. This is a good way to start getting, say, a tree bark kind of a thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up that crack spacing way up so we get just this kind of a little thing going on right there. The depth, I'll leave it like that because I want those little highlights in there, and the same thing with the brightness. I'm going to leave those, and I'm going to say OK. Now that we've done that, I'm going to apply that filter again. And one more time. And you can see how it's roughened it up. It's gotten into that nice little kind of a texture that you would find in concrete. And now for the final touch, I'm going to give it another texture filter, the texturizer, which I'm going to put in sandstone mode. I'm going to bring the scaling way down and bring up the relief a little bit at a time until I get just the right amount of texture that I want. Right about there. Click OK, and there we have some very simple concrete. Very easy to do. Now, you want a better grade of stone, you might say? How about some marble? So I'll go in here and create a new layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some colors for my marble. I'm going to pick a deep green, like that, for my foreground. And for my background, I'm going to pick a really dark green. So there I have a nice contrast of these two tones. And in this layer, I'm just going to fill that with a filter. I'm going to go in there and say render clouds. When you apply the clouds, you're going to get that. Let me undo that. I'm going to hold down my Option key this time, Alt on the PC, so I can increase the contrast between those colors. So I'll say render clouds, so I get really strong definition between those two tones. Now once I've applied this, I'm going to apply another filter. I'm going to go in there and say render difference clouds. Difference clouds applied on top of this multiple times. I'm going to keep applying it until I start getting that grain, and you can see it's already starting to happen. I'm going to start getting that grain that you would see in a really good Italian marble. So I'm going to apply it until I have just about the amount of grain that I want. Those nice little ripples that travel through the marble like that, and you can see I have this really nice marble. And keep in mind, of course, that after the fact, we can always go back in there and say hue saturation, and we can go in there and say colorize this, punch up the saturation, and change it to any kind of color that we might want to get the effect that we need.